Hello, hello, good people. It's nice to see you again. For those of you who are new to our sessions, welcome to Get It Right with the Tara Solutions. This is a webinar series that takes place every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. We started on June 23rd in 2020. We are currently celebrating 1 year anniversary. And for that, we have been giving giveaways to our audience, those who have been with us for a while. We are appreciating you for joining us. We are appreciating you for the support. So we have received, actually so far, about 3 people have gotten something. Jairus Walemba won a gift hamper from Kapula Mintito. He got some beautiful, beautiful bambuyus, baobab powder, CMOS gel, honey, etc, etc. I will share that photo next week, actually, of the goodies that Jairus received the week before the last. Last week, we had 2 winners. We had one, Mr. Simon, who won a cake from a Favored Cakes. And then, sorry. We had Simon who won a cake from Favored Cakes and Caterers. He has yet to receive his cake because he was out of town, but I'm hoping that this week the cake will be delivered to him. We also had Hillary, who won a gift hamper from our main sponsors, Balcon Housing. So Hillary, I'm sure Mr. Njoroge is organizing your delivery this week. So all of you will get your packages for this week. Our partners in celebration of the 1 year anniversary are Kapula Mintutu, who sell coastal goodies, your mabuyus, your achari, etc. We have Current Technology, who is an engineering consulting firm. We have Stallion Construction, who is also a construction company. We have Career Management Center, who are HR consulting and career guidance or coaching company. We also have Intercity Secure Homes, which is a security firm that provides total security solutions. We have Favored Cakes and Caterers, who have been kind enough to give us an anniversary cake, and that cake has been given to one of our viewers who has tuned into about 28 of our episodes. And I say that with pride because this is our 13th episode of season 2. And then we have GeoTrace. GeoTrace are actually giving away car alarm system. One of you will get a chance to get their car alarm system fixed. They will also have another giveaway to somebody who gets their tracking done. So I hope one of you will be the lucky winner of the beautiful, beautiful giveaways. We also have the Lego Academy, who are also an IT-based company in Westlands. You can check them out online. We have our main sponsors for this Get It Right with the Tara Solutions, Balcon Housing. They are a real estate company. I'll be sharing with you more about Balcon Housing. We also have JC Beauty, who is a they deal with beauty products and hair products. So for those of you who are natural hair enthusiasts or actually in it, you can check out JC Beauty. They are online on Facebook and Instagram. She has very, very beautiful advice on how to stay young as well as take care of your hair, because she believes any hair can grow. We also have Sorel Laundry. This is a laundry based in a laundry shop, or rather a laundromat based in Ruaka. If you are in Ruaka, you will get a chance to get your clothes washed for free. Or is it a duvet? One of those. You'll tell us what you'd like washed. So for those in Ruaka, you stand a chance to get a giveaway from Sorel Laundry, where you will have your duvet washed for free. JC is providing a gift hamper to one of you. So I am hoping that we have a lucky winner within this week or the next week. So I'm really, really proud to have you guys, and welcome to Get It Right with the Tara Solutions. And our sponsors, we really thank you for making this happen, because without you, we don't think we'd be able to do this. Other than that, allow me to just introduce myself. My name is Grace Nzula. I'm a trainer and HR consultant with Atara Solutions, a HR consulting and training firm that provides total HR solutions to employers and employees. At Atara Solutions, we help employees who are seeking to improve their performance in the workplaces and those looking for job placements. We assist employers implement HR systems, upskill their human resource, as well as find good talent. I am also a manager at Panessa Training Institute, a carpentry school. We were giving, at Panessa, we were giving scholarship to the youth between 18 and 35. If you didn't get a chance to take advantage of this, please be on the lookout, because KCB Foundation in partnership with GIZ is doing this even next year. So if you did not get a chance to win this time, I hope next time you can get a scholarship for the needy. At least we are fixing this nation. So allow me to just introduce our main sponsors. Today's session is brought to you courtesy of Balcon Housing, a real estate company incorporated in the year 2001. The company has successfully sold many parcels of land in different parts of the country. They provide both residential and commercial land for investors, individuals, and groups. They also offer property management services. They have a broad asset expertise complemented by their comprehensive property management services of mid to large scale properties. So if you're looking for a piece of land, or you have a place you've developed and you're looking to have somebody manage them for you, Balcon Housing is your people to go. If you have some money somewhere and you're wondering what to do with it, you can put it in a piece of land, and you stand a chance to get it, to have it appreciate. So allow me to tell you why we started these sessions. Get It Right with Untitled Solutions is a webinar series that seeks to demystify issues in entrepreneurship and employment. We are on 13th session of season 2. We've done 26 episodes in season 1. Allow me to tell you why we started this program. Can you imagine 22% of businesses that started in the year 2021 will actually not see the end of this year? The 30% will not see the end of next year. 50% will not get to 2025, which is their 5th year. And 70% of businesses that start do not see their 10th anniversary. And this is why we have decided to start this webinar series, because we need to do, we need to incorporate and educate people and actually have a better country based on information. So allow me, I take a lot of pride in introducing our speaker of today. His name is Roy Sasaka Telewa. In fact, when I met Roy, I kept wondering which part of this country do you come from? However, for the HR professionals who are tuned in this evening, let me just tell you that Roy is CHRPK. I know all of you know what that means, but I'll be saying that shortly. Roy is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Council in Kenya. He was previously the head of procurement at Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation. He has also worked as the deputy head of procurement at Competition Authority of Kenya, and he was the head of procurement at Regional Procurement Manager at, right. And then Roy holds a master's in business administration. He's actually currently studying for his doctorate. He is a certified human resource professional, for those who know what that means. He is also a certified quality management system lead auditor, and he's a certified procurement professional and a chartered procurement professional. Where, my friend, you are totally in it. He also sits as a board director at the Youth Fund. So when we talk about getting funding and everything, I'm sure he'll be sharing with us some highlights on how we can get that done. Because we are here to help you get more information, be informed, because ignorance has no defense. So Mr. Roy Sasaka Telewa, are you still with us? Yes, so as we wait for Roy. Oh, you're here. Okay. All right. So as Roy settles in to start with his conversation, I can see all of you here. Who is this? How's Bilali? Good evening. Thank you for tuning in this week again. Guru, good evening. First time tuner, enjoying it. Karibu sana. Thank you very much for all those who've joined us for the first time. We look forward to an engaging session. If you've missed any of our sessions, they're actually uploaded on Get It Right with the Tara Solutions YouTube channel. Any person who is a job seeker, and any person who is, if you're looking for a job, there are clips there for job seekers. Roy, you can't hear me? Okay. So we have sessions that we've done with quite a number of professionals. For those who are looking for mentorship, we've hosted quite a number of entrepreneurs. Can you hear me now? Roy, can you hear me now? Roy, can you hear me?
Yes, Grace, can you hear me?
Yes, now
yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Sorry. I think that was a technical problem.
Yes. Sometimes that happens. We are saying work from home, and we need to really quite build infrastructure in support of this. So Roy, as we start this session, I was interacting. I have a friend of mine, or rather a client of mine, who is 24 years old, and he runs quite a good business, so to speak. A business I take pride in, and considering he's gotten a consultant on board, he has quite a number of employees. But he's told me one of his problems is the fact that he is 24 years old. Clients don't take him seriously. So sometimes he's hard to engage. Oh, I think we've lost Roy. Okay. So allow me to just ask the young people who are logged in today, what has been your experience in entrepreneurship? Maybe you can help us on the chat. What has been your experience in entrepreneurship? If you can share, has it been a success? Have you ever been denied business because of your age? Let's engage. Have you been denied business because of your age? If you may. I'm waiting for the answers on the chat. Sorry. Have you been denied businesses because of your age? And do you think your age has something to do with how you do business? So somebody is saying, yes, I have. Doreen says yes. Becky says yes. Priscilla says entrepreneurship is the way to go. It will solve unemployment. Beverly says, Bob, start for the first few weeks, then it just goes down. I am Vitalis, yes. Oguda says at Nairobi, I went there physically and I was told, ni wewe kijana mdogo wa hesabu, hivyo ndio biashara ilienda.
Thank you so much, Grace. I was having technical problems, but I'm back.
Yes, and we're asking the young people who are tuned in today, have they been denied business because of their age? Because my client who is 24 years has quite a number of times been denied business because he seems young. And I can see it's actually a problem that most of the young people are actually experiencing. Even says our age is taken for granted, then entrepreneurship needs funding, which is a problem to us. Modoni says, yes, I have missed a couple of opportunities because they thought I seemed young. Aguda is a professional on HR analytics, and I think he was told, no, wewe ni kijana mdogo sana. So Roy, first of all, tell us, who is the youth and how can they retool? How can they succeed? Or let me just use this word, excel in entrepreneurship.
Yes, Grace, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm asking, how can they, first of all, define for us who the youth is, and then tell us, how can we excel in entrepreneurship?
Thank you so much, Grace, and to all the participants, I'm sorry for the network challenges I was having. Grace had already briefed me that I should have at least 3 Wi-Fis installed prior to this meeting. I think that is the memo that I didn't do so well, Grace. And that informs why I was having challenges in connectivity. Just briefly, let me introduce myself, who I am. I know Grace was introducing me, but just briefly, and then my organization, and why is it that we are interested as National Youth Council to be actually part of this conversation? And what is it that we believe that out of this conversation, we are going to take home as young people? So my name is Roy Sasakateleo. I'm the current CEO of National Youth Council. National Youth Council is a state agency under the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth. And our work as National Youth Council is to co-create programs and solutions with the young people. But above all is to make sure that we identify opportunities for young people. We actually are critical in policies and legislations that make the young people access opportunities. Having said that, why are we critical, and why are we on this table with Grace, and why is it that we want to discuss about retooling our young people for the 21st century and to be actually great entrepreneurs? When you look at National Youth Council, and National Youth Council was an affirmative action organization, which the government thought that they need to put in a safe space for young people, so that they can have a safe space to associate in all spheres of life, be it political, economic, and social. And today our pillar is economic. And you look at the economic pillar, and I'm going to answer your question as I come to this pillar. When you look at the economic pillar, which is actually our drive of GDP, you realize that the core critical component of this economic pillar is actually entrepreneurship. So how comes, where are we as a country? Where are our young people? And who are these young people, as Grace asked? Who is these young people? Who is a youth? So as per our constitution, section 55, to all our audience, a youth is defined as somebody between 18 and 35. So I am a youth, but I'm not so sure if Grace is a youth. And I'm not so sure all of us who are listening to us are youth. However, even if you're not a youth, we can define you as a young person. Now, a young person can now extend beyond the age of 35. So we are very critical in this segment of between 18 and 35, because it is a group that, when you look at the demographic dividends, they are the majority in the country. They are the ones who are actually the critical pillar when it comes to driving our economy. So if we get it right within this age group between 18 and 35, and they're the most productive age set that we have. So if we get it right as government, as private sector, then definitely we've gotten it right in inspiring our economy. So why entrepreneurship? And why is it so passionate? Why are we so passionate about entrepreneurship? And why is retooling our youth for entrepreneurship such an interesting topic that I was challenging Grace that we are starting a new season, and we're not just talking about entrepreneurship. We are talking about what are those tools that we need, and showing practically where those tools are, so that we walk this journey together. When you look at it as National Youth Council, of course, we are looking at it from the pillar of those small SMEs companies. What is it that the government needs to do to support this economy? What is it that is already being done? And what are some of the gaps that needs to be addressed? So I will start by saying that as we talk about entrepreneurship, and I just want to start by saying, Grace, you're doing an amazing job. I've been following these series from the first series that you launched during Corona, and you've been teaching us about how to be the greatest entrepreneur, what are the do's and don'ts of an entrepreneur, how do you manage your financials as an entrepreneur, how do you actually learn to make sure that your company survives the ups and downs. And from all these series, there is one segment that we've never discussed as entrepreneurs in this house. We've never discussed where are these funding? Where is the source of this funding for these entrepreneurs? And that is why today's session is the best of all your series, Grace, because we are working together to identify where those sources of funding are. And in the subsequent series we've discussed with Grace, is we are going even further beyond just talks to bring those funds here, so that then we actually work with you. We say, these are the funds, these are the forms, can you fill them online as we proceed? So that then the issue of capital, the issue of financing, the issues of challenges when you've already been given an LPO to service are a history, because those are the challenges facing entrepreneurs. So the challenge that I'm going to tackle today for the entrepreneurs in the house is, where is the source of funding? How can we access this source of funding? And how can we move beyond looking at sourcing of funding as a challenge? Because when you look at most of the conversation we've been discussing, is we are having challenges in sourcing capital. And before I go into that, let me also share a story, because I believe a story sometimes explains more than just words. Roy Sasaka, when I was in this journey before I became CEO, a time came, Grace, and I know this one you don't know. As a young person, I'm a youth myself. So as a young person, I had just applied to be a head of procurement in a very big government parastatal. And that was under Central Bank, an institution called Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation. A young man has been given the job. I have reported. I have worked for almost 1 year. And then His Excellency, the President of Kenya, announces in the national television that all heads of procurement are supposed to step aside and undergo vetting, compulsory vetting. So you go and hand over your duties to your junior, and you head home. And let me tell you, team, that you're listening to me, you are getting this announcement, and your job, you are on contract. You know, I left my permanent and pensionable. Now I joined contracts. Now I am handing over, and my contract is just about to expire in a few months' time. And I'm wondering now, what is my fallback position? And when you look at this position, you can realize that this is a position that can put you into depression. It can send you to depression. It can actually give you serious mental challenges. But Grace, can I tell you the sweet story behind it? I handed over, I went home, and I was cool, I was happy. And I started watching movies and relaxing. Why am I saying this? I had done my entrepreneurship well. I had done some investments, and I had some businesses running, not big businesses. I'm not here to talk about the Chris Kirubis businesses. I'm here just to talk about small entrepreneurial businesses that are put in place while I was running. And that's why such a platform for me is a peer review mechanism, because I was asking myself, if I didn't have an alternative source of funding, where would my life be? How will I have sustained the life I'm living at that time? Because when I was receiving, and Grace, let me tell you, to undergoing vetting, it was supposed to be a period, an exercise of 1 month. It ended up being 3 months. It ended up being 6 months, 8 months. Outside the job, you're just at home. And that informs why entrepreneurship is very, very critical for us. So even if you're attending this series and you're employed and you're like, I don't need to be entrepreneur, I don't need to be an entrepreneur. I am earning a very good salary. I am able to take care of my family. I'm able to take my kids to school. Listen to me today that it is always important to have an alternative source of income. And that alternative source of income is our discussion today. And the reason why today is very critical, and as I finalize on my stories, because I love stories. When I was just concluding my campus life, I think I was in 3rd year. I was very keen because I attended my degree, my background is actually BCom. So our lecturers at University of Nairobi really used to push us to entrepreneurship. So I was very aggressive when it comes to entrepreneurship. So there is this college called Vision College. It's a very famous college that offers CPA. They had advertised and tendered for an entrepreneur. That was back then in 2010, 2009. I was doing small businesses. Then I was owning small photocopier shops and all those small entrepreneur. So they had advertised that they wanted an entrepreneur to come and set up a cyber. And then they had even gone ahead and suggested a formula sharing ratio between the college and the entrepreneur. I went and applied, I put in my proposal, and I was given the job. And let me tell you something that was a game changing for me. I was given the job. That time I couldn't raise that capital. I only needed, I think, 4 million then to actually equip the cyber, 3 million, I think, to equip the cyber. And my income projection, that time, cyber cafes were very good in terms of income. So my projections were very solid. The board was very enthusiastic about me because I bet all the other competitors who were going for the business. Grace, I was given the job, but I was not able to actually take off because I didn't have capital. I went to my old man. My father told him Can he give me some little capital to start the company? He refused. He didn't believe in me. So I moved around Nairobi trying to look for sources of capital, but I couldn't get. So I had to actually give that business to somebody else, an opportunity that I had gotten, but the challenge that I faced then was actually source of financing. So when I look back then, my ROI in that time, I wish I was having this conversation today. So let me not bore you so much, members, into stories, but I think these stories sometimes inspire us, challenge us, and actually make us rethink, remodel some of our mental simulations and realign us in the right path, and also make us very competitive. So I didn't get capital then. I lost that business, but I'm happy that I lost it because I realized that next time when I'm going for a business, the first thing I need to consider is where am I going to get sourcing capital source funding for my business. So in today's series, we're going to tackle that. And I'm just going to, as I come now into it, I just want also to challenge us as we listen to this conversation. When you look at the current biggest problem we are facing as a country, the biggest major problem we are facing is unemployment. And this unemployment is not only in Kenya, but it's across. So when you look at the statistics, you as a young person, as a youth, you can be disillusioned and say, hapa sasa, things are thick. And that informs why even most young people, when you meet them, they tell you, I don't want to apply for a job because there are no jobs. So, and when you look at statistics, when you look at ILO, they're saying, we need 600 million jobs in the next 10 years. Where are these jobs going to come from? These jobs are going to be created from entrepreneurship. How can we then refocus our energies as government, as private sector, in the right investment so that then we create these jobs? And that is why the government has actually remodeled the way they're thinking. And we are saying, can we have more affirmative funds in place? And the objective of these affirmative funds is actually to provide a framework for young people, for youth, to actually create and inspire businesses in entrepreneurship. And this one will create more jobs as compared to the government sector. Because when you look at it in terms of government, very few jobs are coming out. And something else that we also need to look at it. What are some of the skills? And this one, I think, yes, I need to appreciate what you've been doing. What are some of the skills the skill sets that are critical for the 21st century? How is it that some courses that we knew 6 years, 10 years down the line are becoming irrelevant? So does it mean that the world is changing, and at what rate? So what are some of these skill sets that we need in the 21st century to make us competitive? So let me refocus on the source of funding, of course, the sources of funding that we have to discuss today. And I'm going to cover more from the government perspective because that is my area of advocacy. Then I'll leave Grace to talk about KCB, equity, and the women micro and whatever. So from the government perspective, one of the key funding that we actually now we've been pushing as a source of funding for young people is the youth enterprise development fund. This is an affirmative fund that actually was set up to spur young businesses owned by young people. And again, for us, youth is from 18 to 35. So if you've just reached 35, you may not qualify for that fund, but you may recommend that fund to somebody who actually qualifies. So as we talk about it, Youth Enterprise Fund have their offices in Upper Hill. When you look at it, they actually their core mandate is to make sure that we give, and Grace, I didn't mention, I'm also a board member at Youth Enterprise Fund, and we are among the members, the board, who has actually set the Youth Enterprise Fund on a transformative agenda to make sure that it achieves its mandate. So for the young people who are listening to me, and you want to start a business, can we visit those offices? Can we visit their website? Can we take advantage of this fund? And let me tell you, this fund does not come with an interest. When you apply, the only thing that you will be charged maybe is a fee, processing fee of 5%, but it's interest free. So you get your leeway to have a fund and grow businesses. Now that I like stories, let me tell you a story. There's a young lady from Kitengela, and I have also challenged Grace that she should create time and bring that entrepreneur here. That young lady, was looking for a job. Okay, it is an inspiring story, but she was not able to get. So she resorted to entrepreneurship. So she walked to Youth Enterprise Fund, applied for the fund, and started green farming. As we speak right now, her company is actually a multi-million company. She's actually able to. She has created employment to other young people. She has expanded and grown her businesses, and these are the some of the success stories we are talking about. And this is just one story about Youth Enterprise Fund. There are a million stories, success stories of young people who have actually taken the fund, the funds from that fund, and made successful enterprises. And Grace and the team, the challenge is not in taking the funds, because you'll apply and get those funds. The challenge is, do we have the right skills? Are we ready to take those funds? Because also we have other stories on the negative side, where somebody took the loan, they were not prepared, they didn't undergo these online classes that Grace is giving us about entrepreneurship. So they got the loan, they were overwhelmed, they were happy, they squandered the money, and now they're dealing with CRB. And now they're saying, we should actually, as Youth Fund, abolish CRB. How can we do that? We are teaching you financial responsibility. So as we take this fund, I think the most important thing that we need to look at, it's also gaining the right entrepreneurial skills to utilize the fund effectively, so that then we become a success story and not a failure. Okay, now, and then from there, we're also going to talk about Women Enterprise Fund. I think, and this is good news for our ladies who are attending this series. This is very good stories. And I think to be a lady in Kenya, Grace, born in this age and era, I think it's the most amazing thing. Because imagine, if you're a lady, if you're youth, you still qualify for the Youth Enterprise Fund, and you still qualify for Women Enterprise Fund, but you cannot, but as a man, you will not qualify for Women Enterprise Fund. So I think being born as a lady in this age and era, it's an amazing. I think we've done good as a government in terms of actually giving opportunities for our women, and making sure that we push the gender initiative in the country. So let me talk about the Women Enterprise Fund, because I've seen a chat asking me about it. Now, the Women Enterprise Fund is the fund, it's an affirmative fund as well. Now, this one, for you to qualify, the gentlemen in the room, you don't qualify, sorry about that, but you have to be, of course, of the female gender, and it cuts across all ages. It doesn't have a limitation that once you reach 35, you don't qualify for it. As long as you are a woman, you are a lady, and you are interested in businesses, and you can actually come up with a good business concept, then you qualify. Their offices are at NSSF, 16th floor. Why can't we visit there with our proposals? Why can't we take advantage of this fund? And then, of course, we have a Uwezo Fund. Uwezo Fund is also an affirmative fund. This one has no youth, has no women. It wote, hata wazee, kila mtu anaingia kwa hiyo. Uwezo Fund. So Uwezo Fund is good because it also is an affirmative fund. The only uniqueness about Uwezo Fund is that it's managed from constituency levels. So so you can apply at the constituency level, and then it's processed there. Of course, we have other funds that I may not want to go so much into details, but as I talk about this, let me tell you this, that you are an entrepreneur. You don't want to take a loan, but you've gotten a business deal with government. You've gotten a business, you've been given a business to supply some stationery, to actually deliver some services, and you're having challenges with your liquidity issues. And you're wondering, where do I get these millions to invest in this business for now? Now, that is where Women Enterprise Fund, Youth Enterprise Fund, Uwezo Fund comes in. They have a unique product called LPO financing, where so many entrepreneurs don't know about. The LPO financing is where, once you've secured that LPO, and I hope we all know about LPO, and if we don't, Grace is here for us. Grace, LPO is just local purchase order, that order that you receive. And it is an official documentation that ensures that actually recognizes and says, now this is a valid document for you to get business. So once you have that, and you are a young person between the age of 18 to 35, you have the Youth Enterprise Fund. If you are a woman, irrespective of the age, even if you are 55 or 65, there is Women Enterprise Fund for you. And if you don't know where you fall, go to Wezo Enterprise Fund and take advantage of that. And of course, there are so many other funds that I may not want to go so much into detail. There is NGAV, there is the fund that is being spearheaded by Micro and Small Enterprises Authority. There are so many other funds that there is also the Innovation Fund. So I may not want to go so much into detail into it. But my core reason why Grace brought me here today is to make sure that I talk about these sources of funding. And Grace was very categorical that, Troy, if by the end of your session we're not able to understand and appreciate Youth Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, you will have done injustices to our audience. So my audience, our stakeholders, that was my work to make sure that we understand these funds. And I think the most important thing is that we may not get all the information in this session. But the beauty about that is that we can visit their website, we can visit their offices, and if we have challenges, we have avenues on how we can address this. And as an entrepreneur, we will face challenges. Even me as an entrepreneur, I'm not as big as some of you here. I know we have very great engineers here, and I know he's listening in, who are serious entrepreneurs in this country. But as an entrepreneur, I think we just need to see, as we go and take advantage of these funds, I think the most important thing to take note is, can we appreciate, can we prepare so that then as we take these funds, we make good utilization of them so that then we don't become listed in CRB. They don't become a burden or a curse to us. They become a blessing to our businesses. I think that is the most critical thing that we talk about, because I've seen people who are doing good businesses, but they make a simple, silly mistake or an error when they are sourcing for funds, and it becomes a curse. You see a good businesses that was having very good liquidity. Now it is in problem in terms of liquidity. So as we do that, and that calls for enhanced financial learning. And Grace, this is a challenge to all of us, and you're doing an amazing job, that we need to do more of these entrepreneurship classes, so that then when you're taking these funds, they actually are utilized in the right manner. And as we talk about these funds, of course, there are other private funds that Grace will arrange for another session. And when you compare between the private funds and affirmative funds, and this one I want to clarify, from the word affirmative, and when you look at the institution section 55 of the Constitution, an affirmative is a safe space. The conditions of this fund are not as stringent as the other one from the private entity. And I have no reservations for banks that are giving us loans. I'm just saying that when you compare between the conditions of these, when you compare within the interest, when you compare about all those factors, then affirmative funds are more good for us because they are affirmative. Actually, the essence of the government is to make sure that we can access them in a more easily affordable way, so that then that is a social responsibility of the government to spur enterprises growth. And of course, besides the funds, we have grants. But I don't want to focus so much on grants because we all like grants. Because once you hear grants, you know you have no responsibility to repay back. And our ministry, that is the Ministry of ICT Innovation and Youth, Grace, we've been giving out business grants. And I hope this is information we are going to utilize. We did what we call Ben and Abiz competition, where we called young people across the country between the age of 18 to 35 to participate in business plan competition writing. And the grant was ranging from a grant of 900,000 to 3.5 million. So if you did a good business proposal and you just submitted that proposal, you didn't need to have a business, Grace. Just need to do a very good business proposal, then you submitted. And I can successfully say that in the last 2 months, we've actually been in the process of disbursing those grants. So you get young people getting 900,000. 900,000 is 0.9 million members. That is 0.9 million. Others getting 3.6 million to spur their enterprises. And this is money you don't pay back. This is money given to you by government to spur your innovation. So why are we not taking advantage of this? And as I come to the end, because Grace told me just to take 20 minutes, I hope I'm within time. As I come to the end, I think the most important thing for us to discuss is that how do we access this information so that then we are not left behind? Because I'm sure some of us are asking, this Mbele na Biz, ilikuwa lini, iliisha lini, hata hatukusikia. So how do we access this information? How do we make sure that any opportunity that is availed to us by the government, by the private sector, by any international organization, we are leveraging on it? And we also, and I have known young people who applied for it and actually they're sparring their businesses. And that's where I come in as National Youth Council. I want you guys to look for me on social media. I want you to look for National Youth Council. Even if you are past 35, you will still benefit in this information, or you can share this information by those people who will benefit from it. So look for us on social media. That's National Youth Council, be it on Facebook, be it on Twitter, be it on Instagram, because our work as National Youth Council is to share opportunities for the youth. So if there is Mbele na Biz, even before it's announced by the president, we will have published it on our social media. If there is any business competition, before it's announced, National Youth Council has to publish that information because we are the custodian of the young people in the country. We are the institution that is in charge of all the youth in this country. So follow us on social media so that we can keep engaging, sharing this information, and also give us feedback on how we can create these programs. We can co-create these competitions so that then we actually have an environment that is actually sparring enterprises. And as I conclude, I would want to say that, yes, we are all looking for jobs, but I think the greatest minds are those ones who are keen on actually creating those jobs. And for us, as we create those jobs, let's know that it's our responsibility to make sure that we are creating those jobs in a secure environment. So let's do this. I want to challenge you. And as I finish with my story, as I said, if I didn't have an enterprise then, as I was being told to go home and wait for me to go through, and let me tell you, members, sometimes also the world is very unfair. When I was being vetted, and I took there my bank details, my all documentation, I'm a serious entrepreneur. Those guys gave me a hell of a time asking me, how do you own these cars? Uber, you know, that time Uber was a very lucrative business. Young man, where are you getting money to do this? And they didn't know that my entrepreneurial spirit started long way when I was still in campus. So for those ones who are employed and listening to me, know that it is good to have alternative sources of income. And Grace has made sure that we will discuss that one day. For those of us who are purely entrepreneurship, let's do this. Let's take advantage of these funds and let's make it bigger and better. Thank you so much. I know I couldn't do so much within the time Grace gave me, but I hope we've gotten relevant information that will assist us in our enterprises. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Roy. I think you have totally done great. Of course, we have to take quite a number of questions, but let me just ask you, there's something I saw a comment by somebody who's saying that she's had, or he has had, that accessing these funds is quite tedious and frustrating. Is that the case?
Okay. I don't know the definition of tedious. I don't know how easy the fund is supposed to be, but yes, there's some level of documentation you need to provide as an applicant for this fund. And these are there's some background check that needs to be done. And even in the banking sector, I believe this is the standard practice. However, having that as feedback, and in the process of actually making them accessible, at Youth Enterprise Fund, what we are doing is we are actually automating the process of applying for the loan. So where Zula can just go on her mobile phone, fill in, scan the documentation and attach, and also now submit. because I know there's also been a challenges of the manual applications, and we are addressing that. The level of tediousness of applying, I don't know, but we appreciate that at Youth Fund, we appreciate that, and we are in the process of automating our processes. And soon, I think we should even have an app where you can apply online and get the funds.
Okay. There's somebody who is asking, and allow me to ask this because this is also part of what I do in my other business.
Grace? Yes, obviously.
There's somebody who is saying, what is the link? Oh yeah, Sandra. Sandra is saying, kindly talk about the link between technical training and entrepreneurship. I'm a young lady trained to be an engineer, but I would love mentorship into entrepreneurship.
You want the last bit you're saying?
No, she says she's a young lady.
Grace, you're saying the last bit?
In engineering.
Just repeat, please.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is the link between technical training and entrepreneurship? Yes. Can you hear me?
Thank you so much. I wish you could have also mentioned her name. Yes, Sandra. I can hear you. I wish you could also have mentioned her name. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Grace, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good. So Sandra and Engineer Sandra, Madam Engineer, the technical skills are critical for us, because sometimes when you're looking at areas of leadership, sometimes it's advised that you follow your passion, because then you can leverage on your passion and your experience. You will do much more better than somebody who is just coming into a field that they don't understand. So the technical skills are those skills that you've already acquired. And those are mostly what we call the hard skills. Then the entrepreneurial skills, the only difference with entrepreneurial skills are the soft skills in entrepreneurship. And the soft skills are now, how do you, of course, what are some of customer relationship mechanisms that we need to place? What about our financial workflows? How do we prudently utilize resources and commit resources? And how do we actually also do financial statements and all that? So entrepreneurship in itself, for you to be a very effective entrepreneur, it's always good to draw from the field that you have more technical skills in. You will become a very effective entrepreneur. So that is the link. That yes, we need also those technical skills to identify unique, because an entrepreneur is that somebody who comes and provides us a solution to a gap or a problem. Because if you just come and join the others, you are a shopkeeper or you are somebody else, but not an entrepreneur. But an entrepreneur, you must identify the unique problem and give a solution to it. So Sandra, you'll be more effective drawing your entrepreneurship line from your technical area, because then you will be more relevant and more add more value. So yes, that is the link. But all engineers, and this one I have to re-emphasize, that all engineers, all guys from technical skills, we need soft skills as well. Because once you add a combination of technical and soft skills, the hard skills, makes you a very effective entrepreneur.
Okay.
Yes, Grace, over to you. And you're very serious. You can smile a bit. You're very serious, Grace.
Go away. And Sandra, probably you can also get in touch with us. We can see whether the entrepreneur whom we hosted, who is a consulting engineer, is able to point you in some way or another. And I know he will kill me for promising this, but I'm sure he'll be happy to help. So you can actually email me and I'll put you in touch with him, and probably he can help you on what you need to do to start that business. Somebody is asking, Roy, unajua siku hizi hatuogopi kuwekwa kwa CRB. So if I'm listed in the CRB, can I still access the funds?
Huyo nitamwambia bana, hiyo ni ngumu kidogo because this is a revolving fund, and we expect that once we've given you the fund, you're able to repay pole, and it's not a hard process. You repay pole, so that somebody else also can benefit. You see, once your repayment will form into the capital that will go to somebody else. So the moment you start having challenges in repaying, you are denying another Kenyan that opportunity to get that fund. And that will mean you are a candidate for CRB. So why will we give you an opportunity to get this fund, yet you yourself are denying another Kenyan an opportunity to access those funds? So yes, Chief, you should be worried of being listed to CRB. And I think this is just financial prudence. And that's why we're saying, when you apply for these funds, let's also be cognizant that it's a responsibility you've taken, and you need to make sure that you are able to undertake your business well so that you are able to repay. Because once you don't repay, then you are denying another Kenyan an opportunity, which we will not want to encourage you to do that, to deny another Kenyan an opportunity. And then, if you could allow Grace, there is Barnabas, not Barnabas, somebody, Evans Omondi, was asked a very important question. He's saying that as a student, how can I venture into entrepreneurship at the same time balance my academics? And I just want to share with him my story. Roy, from a very humble background in a village, when I got admitted at the university, I started entrepreneurship from the basic of my room. My room was not so big. I got a small photocopier, and I was photocopying for people. I know that cannot qualify to be entrepreneurship, but it shows where my entrepreneurship journey started. And I was a student, and I could earn something out of it. And from it, I was inspired to go to the main guys who are having photocopies and get 1 or 3, moja. By the end of 6 months, 8 months, I was having like 6, 7 photocopiers, and I recruited young people there, and they were giving me money at the end of the month. So that one I could have been categorized as a small entrepreneur, and I was a student. So, and I was still balancing between academics and entrepreneurship. So I think the most important thing is, let's not be so fixated on what we are doing. Let's make sure that our mind is open. Let's make sure our mind is open. And we should always be asking ourselves, what are some of those opportunities? I've seen young students coming up with very innovative products and earning. In fact, just I think last month, there's a student from Strathmore who I think got 131 million from the entrepreneurial idea that she had put in place, although it was tied to innovation. So as a student, let's just think outside the box and make sure that we actually are getting opportunity. And then as I just on the same note of Mondi, I think the most important thing that I've also not talked about, and Grace is very passionate, is our attitude towards entrepreneurship. Because we always think that, let me finish school. Once I finish school, let me get employed. I will get income for me to start businesses. I think we need to rechange our mindset, because most entrepreneurs and the people who take much more risks, and this has been confirmed statistically, are as young people, even at the university at the student level. So that is the time where you can take a lot of risks. That is the time when you take risks, they don't hit you hard. Because if you lose all the money, you still have a campus room to go back and live. You still have a mess where you can pay 20 shillings and get your chapati or your rice and tea. So the risk exposure is not so much. So that is the prime time for us to actually venture into entrepreneurship. So let's just make sure that our attitudes are open towards entrepreneurship, because you just need to make one step. And I believe in that theory, Grace. You just need to make one step in entrepreneurship. And other things, you'll start attracting the right people around you, the right businesses, the right thinking. Even the people you will be engaging are the right people. And you'll realize that you are growing. By the time you graduate, you are a serious entrepreneur in this country.
Okay. I have seen Yusuf. Yusuf, hi. He says, great insights, Roy. I think you need to share success stories of entrepreneurs who have benefited from the great initiative. This is big. I think we are. Actually, let me just let you know. Oh, first of all, let me give credits to the sponsors of this session. Balcon Housing, thank you for making this happen. If you're looking for a piece of land, kindly get in touch with Balcon Housing. Allow me to also make this announcement. I will have discussed this with Roy. We are going to make a series out of this. Is actually a kickoff. We are going to bring in an expert in the Women Entrepreneurship Fund. We are going to also have a panel of discussion between Roy and somebody from the Youth Fund. We are also going to have to hear from the practicality of how these funds are working from the people who have totally benefited from it. And if possible, we are also going to get somebody who actually failed, and they'll tell us how they failed, so that we can stop making the same mistakes. So please stay tuned, because this is going to be a series of conversations as we go along. So in the meantime, there's somebody who is asking about what it takes to actually get this. Is there a document, Roy, that you can share with them after this, that highlights the steps into which somebody, how to apply and all that? I'm sure there must be a document like that.
I think I can share with you, then you can share with them.
Yes, yes. So if you registered for this webinar, you're going to get that that write-up on how to actually access these funds. But somebody else is asking, do you need collateral, and how do we get, and how long does it take actually? By the way, that's a recurring question. How long does it take for you between application and receiving the funds?
Now, I think the most important to when you're looking at how long it takes, the most critical thing is how ready are you in submitting the requirements that are needed from the fund to access the loan, the facility that you are going for. So I think how ready and how soon you submit also allows quick processing of your application. Of course, we've had incidences like now, especially in July, when the financial year is crossing, we are likely to experience delays because of exchequer. You know, now with the close of the financial year and the start of the financial year, there are likely to be delays. But once we get the exchequer, I think the processes are much quicker. And then you asked about the other question was what, Grace? The other question was on.
I asked the collateral.
Yes, there are different facilities, and that's why I was saying, let me give you the djembe, but go to the shamba and farm, because there are different products. We have different products for wasani, maybe for this is creative arts. We have different products for enterprises. We have different even levels of engagement. There are those who are seeking for 100,000. There are those who are seeking 2 million. There are those who are seeking even machinery for their enterprises. There are those who are looking for motor vehicles, maybe for logistics. So it's different. Like if you're going to buy a canter for your business, then that canter will also have to be registered together with Youth Fund, jointly with you as you repay, so that once you finish repay, then you can transfer only to you, because we can't just give you the logbook, it may disappear. So I think there are different products that have different requirements, and that's why I'm saying that the most critical thing is that with your unique business, can you go to the Youth Enterprise Fund and you will get all the information there? Can you go to Women Enterprise Fund? You'll get all the information there. But that having been said, as been suggested by Grace, we'll also get a toolkit, a small toolkit, and Grace is going to share with you on the FAQs.
Excellent, excellent. I think that would really help.
And I think, Grace, you've already shared the, that is okay.
No. There's Ahmed Haji, who is saying, in Northern Kenya, the youth are not exposed to the many support youth enterprise like Biashara grants. And the other challenge is faith of NAP region youth who are mostly professing the Islamic law against interest. Can it be tailor-made?
Actually, as we speak right now, we have actually unique products also for the group. You know, when you look at Islamic law, Islamic religion and the background, they have unique requirements for the loan, and that product has been introduced, I think, just the other day by Youth Fund. I don't remember the exact name, but we actually tailor-made for you, especially from that background, so that then the fund is inclusive enough to include every person from diverse backgrounds to leverage on it to grow our enterprises. Chris.
Excellent, excellent. I have posted our YouTube channel. For those of you who are saying this is the first time, please note you will get about 30 or 40 episodes on that channel. Please engage, and if you need any question answered, you can go there and we will be able to answer that question. There's somebody who's saying, does NYC train youth on proposal writing, or have you partnered with any county? I'm economic advisor for Kiambu. We need to talk.
Good. Grace, akupatia contact tuongee. You know, economic advisor, we can leverage on that platform to do much more. So let him drop us the contact, because yes, we are doing much in terms of sensitizing the young people about these funds, but we need a lot of partnerships. We need to bring a lot of people on board, so that then we can push this conversation to our machinery, to the grassroots, to every door. So every person who is coming in to actually partner in this, we are ready to do that. So Grace, I will be happy if can drop the contact.
I will do so. Yvonne is saying, hi, Yvonne. Do you advise guys on profitable businesses currently available considering this COVID pandemic?
Thank you, Grace. I think, Grace, that is something you've been doing very well. And I don't want to take your job. I think I would want you to continue doing what you're doing, because that is synergy between government and private sector. For us as NYC, we may not be able to advise you on the profitable enterprises to venture in, because of course there are different dynamics for you when you're considering a profitable income, a profitable enterprise to enter in. And that's why even from the discussion of Sandra and from where I sit in, the exposure you have is what you should actually leverage on. The experience you have, the exposure, the some of the skills you already have acquired. Those are the things you should leverage on. Like for somebody who has been in hospitality industry and you are a chef and you're doing so well and you want to enter into entrepreneurship, where would you go and start an enterprise in Mabati rolling? Yet you can actually have a very good enterprise in hospitality that you have a lot of experience and skills in. So we may not want to guide you, because once we guide you and things go bad, you will come for our heads. And we want to live long. Yeah.
Okay. Philip Gashoki is saying, can a team of 2 business partners get funding?
Yes. Actually, the funding is broad, from individual to group funding. So to limited companies funding. So yes, that's possible.
Ambient Technology,
and they should go for it.
Okay. Ambient Technology is saying, my company is not registered. Can I get the fund?
I don't know about that. Go and register, because we also want you we want you to be accountable. So go and register. I know it is such documentation that also we need as we evaluate your responsiveness. So go and register. And nowadays you can register even a sole proprietorship, a business name, and it will take you maybe, nowadays those services are automated. You just need to go online, eCitizen, within a few hours you'll have the business. So go and register. Let us not be, let's take the initiative.
Okay. Ambient Technologies, you can check our first episode was on how to register a business legally. Please check out our YouTube channel. You'll get information there and proper advice on how to even package your business in terms of branding and how to communicate to your audience. So please go there and you'll find that information. Salim is saying, Grace asked Roy, Turkana County Poverty Index is growing and we would wish to get attention of NYC on such entrepreneurial aspects. We will be ready to partner to get the youth out of the darkness. So I think this is
good feedback. I think that's very good feedback.
Yeah.
Also let him also drop you those contacts. We need those people who are ready to extend the hand so that we can partner. I think that's very good feedback, Grace.
So Kevin Nandati is also asking, do we have a funding for youth groups and how can we go about it?
Perfect. Actually, as I said, the funding is for individuals and as well as groups. In fact, when we were starting, our focus was on youth groups. So yes, we got you right there. Go for it. Get start moving and get these funds as a group. Yes. In fact, we encourage groups more because there is more accountability in a group than individuals. So why not?
All right. I think we are creating entrepreneurs as we go along. So I'm really happy. There's somebody who was saying, who was asking, what are the skills we need for the future entrepreneur? I don't know whether you want to list like 3, Roy.
I would want to say that there is no much difference between the current and the future entrepreneur. The future entrepreneur and the current entrepreneur. First of all, I think the major important skill, and this one is the critical skill that we all need to have as entrepreneur, is being able to identify opportunities where the normal eye cannot see, and being able to differentiate between available opportunities and viable opportunities, because there are so many opportunities out there. And Grace, allow me 1 second to just say, a great entrepreneur, as you look at those opportunities, should also know at what time should I enter and exit. Like the businesses I was telling you that I really joined in terms of Uber. When we are joining a month, one car will give you maybe 90,000 in a month. At the time I was exiting, it will give you 40. The people who joined after me, nowadays, they are bankrupt because the business is no more there. So an entrepreneur should also know what is the right business life for this business and how do we prolong the life or kill it. But I think the most important thing, as we also do as an entrepreneur, is financial probity. How do we manage our finances? Because we've had great empires that have fallen because of financial misappropriation. And examples are there. Nakumat, you can mention all of them. Serious giants, because of financial mismanagement, then they fold you. So I will say, for me, if I was to mention 3 skills that you need as an entrepreneur, one is, of course, the keen eye to identify opportunities and viable opportunities, financial probity, and then finally, I think the most critical one is also being able to take risks, and not just risks, being able to evaluate, assess risks, and know which risks to take, I think. But I think an entrepreneur, risks. Exactly, I think that is what I was looking for. For me, that is what you need as an entrepreneur. Okay. But I'm sure there are like 20 qualities of an entrepreneur, and it's good for us to engage more with Grace because she does very well with giving us those qualities.
So John Kamau is saying, if I wanted to open a business abroad, am I able to access the Youth Enterprise Fund?
I think, John, I appreciate your ambition, because I think we are also defined by our ambition. I am where I am because of the ambitions I harbored 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So I would encourage you maybe to also start here locally, because as you start here locally, it will give you a level playing ground to now go international. As you go international, I'm sure there are also so many other challenges that you're going to get, but they're also going to have international funds that are now viable for you. But for now, let's focus on the local businesses. We'll support you to start the local businesses. At the point you're going international, maybe it is you now to look at exposure of international funds available. But let's do local now, for now, John. But I appreciate your ambition, and I know you're going to be a great entrepreneur.
Okay. Thank you very much, Roy. I think you've shed quite some light. Salim and Frank, kindly just please, in all respect, please email me your contacts at grace@atarasolutions.co.ke, because I may not remember to check the chat. Please email grace@atarasolutions.co.ke for further engagement in terms of even sharing your contacts with Mr. Roy here. So the last question of this evening, and allow me to say that this session has been brought to you by Balcon, in courtesy of Atara Solutions, courtesy of Balcon Housing and Stallion Construction Company. So Philip is saying, do you work with campuses for sensitization and awareness creation?
Okay, good. It's called who?
Philip.
Yes, Philip, we do that. Today in the morning, as we were preparing for this session, we were at KEM University today, and we were actually talking to young people on the need to actually manage our transition. And it was a very amazing session. So yes, we realized that for us to actually have many and serious enterprises, we need to start at that level of engagement, and we do work with campuses. And as I've mentioned, today was a very interactive session, and it was just to culminate to this session. So you've not missed in the morning session, you've got it right here.
So, and I think we've gotten a very important question for now. Priscilla is saying, how much funding is given and what qualifies you? How do you qualify?
Pardon?
How much funding is given and how do you qualify?
Now, I have answered this question before. I said that we have different products. We have different products for different segments. And we have actually different, those different products have different ceilings, starting from 50,000 all the way to 2 million, 5 million, and all above. So I think the most important thing is, and this is my challenge to all the audience and stakeholders who are here, is let's go and unpack that. And Grace has promised to share, because you see, we have VUCA loan, we have Talanta loan, we have agribiz loan. There are so many with the different requirements and also with the different thresholds. So if I was to start going into details, we may need another 2 hours. But I think we will also just make sure that, but we have different products, and I'm sure whatever you're looking for, you'll get it in the product, in the product mix that we have.
Excellent, excellent, Roy. In the interest of time, it's 9:15. Allow me to just ask you one final question. You've said you'll share these notes, okay? So question is, you are an entrepreneur and you're also an employee, right? Did I get that correct?
Yes, maybe an employer, but that's still okay. Grace, I'm the CEO, so I don't know why you're calling me an
but
employee, but
answer,
it's okay.
You answer
but I'm answerable.
Yes,
that is right. Yes.
So how do you balance these things for the sake of our audience?
I think the most important thing, and as an entrepreneur, is to see what are some of those opportunities that are aligned to what you're doing, that you can easily able to manage. Because again, entrepreneurship requires a lot of money and a lot of dedication in terms of time. Sorry, not money, dedication in terms of time. So you may miss the goal because of identifying opportunities that you cannot have enough time to actually be present. So I think the most important thing, as you're looking at the mix, and I'm sure many people have different mixes. There are people who are employed and they are farmers, therefore they are agri-entrepreneurs. So the most important critical thing is, what is it that will go with what you're doing? Or what is it that you are able to manage with the time that you have? So that you have time for whatever you're doing. And you also have a social life. Although me, I don't have a social life because of these many things. I don't want to encourage you. But I think the balance is in choosing what is actually good that can go with what you're doing. But sometimes when you get these two mixes, you don't have time for social life. So yeah, I don't know how better to answer that question in terms of the balance, because that is a very thin line. That's a very thin line. So I think the most important thing, what people go, we become those entrepreneurs who go for not so risky enterprises in terms of risk taking. We go for moderate risk investments. And I think it works sometimes.
Okay.
But so, you leave the high risk for the likes of Tina Grace and the engineers who are here.
Sandra was the engineer, right? I've just
received
a text from Mr. Engineer. He's willing to work with you, so email me and I'll link you up with him. But Barnabas is saying, Grace, you have brought something. How can one deal with the situation where an employer doesn't allow you to have a private business? Barnabas, I am going to just be very blunt with you. No employer, okay, most employers, because they understand what it takes to run a business, may not be very comfortable with you running your own business, because sometimes the harmony is not there, or rather most of the time the harmony may not be there. So unless you have people who are very reliable, you have a great support system who are helping you execute that business as you excel in your employment life, or you choose to take the plunge and focus on the other business. Because unfortunately, most of the employers, because they know how much it takes to run a business, may not encourage you to have a side business. And this is where we are calling it, by the way, Roy, we don't call it work-life balance anymore. It is work-life harmony from the HR professionals.
Thank you.
Because balancing
Thank you, Madam HR.
So it's
thank you,
harmony.
Madam HR. Yeah, thank you, Madam HR.
Yes, we are creating harmony. So Barnabas, sometimes you actually may need to focus on your business away from the main hustle, so to speak, or from employment. You can choose to run the business, have a good support system, so that then you're able to balance, because that is normally the biggest challenge. And obviously employers are employers, they want you to give them the best. So if you're able to balance that, then it's fine. And you can check out the webinar we did 2 weeks ago in terms of running a startup. You can also gain some insights. You can also follow Mr. Panesa's session, who has run a business for 40 years. You can learn a few things. So I think I have answered that the best way I know how, and unless you have something to add, Roy.
You've answered it perfectly.
Yeah, okay. All right. I have Wilfred. Just as we finish, please allow me. Wilfred, who has his hand up. I am going to allow you to just take one question live. Wilfred Kimeu.
Yes. Good evening, Anne.
Grace is my
name. Grace and Roy. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the presentation, and I think it's very clear. Now, you've talked about youth enterprise, and supposing you are not in that bracket, can you still apply for that?
Okay, go ahead, bro.
No, you are speaking. You can.
So I just wanted to say, Wilfred Kimeu, he already spoke about the different funds available for people within the age bracket and those who are not. So the Youth Enterprise Fund does not apply to people who are over 35 years. However, you can access the Wezo Fund or the Women Enterprise Fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Thank you for that clarification. I think probably I just stepped out a bit before when this was being said.
Okay, sawa.
But otherwise, I'm extremely grateful for these sessions. I always look forward to them. And Grace, you can attest that I keep on emailing you and I don't see a link.
Thank you very much, Wilfred. I really appreciate your support. So in the just, it's 9:20, Roy. One sentence to end this. One sentence from you.
Thank you so much, Grace. One sentence to end this. I would want to say, Grace, that I want to finish with a paradox that we are all going to research on. It's called the authenticity paradox. That team, at every great stage of your life, you will always feel like a fake. I'm sure even the first day Grace was starting these series, he was like, will I really make it? When you're making that first step to start your enterprise, there is always that feeling where you feel inadequate. And that is the authenticity paradox. And when you look at it, it was actually invented by Harvard Business Review from the Harvard School. That all of us at some point, we feel we are in that paradox, the authenticity paradox. But what defines us during that period, as we go through that phase, is actually for our resilience. And that is the difference between the successful entrepreneur and the unsuccessful entrepreneur. That as you feel that inadequate, just know that you are the best version of yourself. And actually that point is what you need to emphasize on. Because when you're starting that business, you'll always feel inadequate. You'll always feel like there are chances that you will fail. But let us not feel so inadequate. Let's raise above the paradox, because everyone has his first time. Even me, when I was being given this role as a CEO, the first time I'm walking through those corridors, I feel inadequate. But give me 1 month, give me 1 year down the line, I feel totally in control. So as we go through that, entrepreneurs, as we look at this, know that when you're feeling that, just know that that is a phase that will pass, and you'll be the greatest entrepreneur that will have a story said of you. So let's leverage on these affirmative funds. Let's grow our enterprises. Let's make a difference. And for those who are employed, let's make sure we have alternative sources of funding, and that is through either farming or entrepreneurship. And farming also has the agri-entrepreneurs. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this interactive session. I have actually enjoyed it myself. and I look forward to more engagements. And as we've agreed with Grace, through her guidance, we are going to bring you a series of funding, and we are going to have very, very, very major, and even as requested, success stories of those entrepreneurs who started with nothing. And they have taken those funds and they're now changing and shaping the space. So thank you so much for being a very good audience. And I'm looking forward to a very interactive session in future. Asante. And don't forget to follow us on our social media. That is National Youth Council, be it Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And even if you want to follow me myself, follow me at Troy Sasakatela. Thank you so much, Grace. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Roy. Thank you for doing this. I think the session has been quite informative, and I'm really looking forward to hosting the other experts in terms of the Women Enterprise Fund, the people who have actually benefited from this session, from the funds, and any other experts that we think that can link, and so that we are fixing this country, we are fixing this space, because we need to create entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs who are actually becoming employers, because we need to fix this unemployment issue. So allow me to just thank our partners. We are celebrating our first year anniversary, and for this we have partnered with quite a number of organizations who are giving giveaways to you, our audience. So we've had a giveaway already given to Jada Swalemba from Kapula Mintito. Beautiful, beautiful product. We have had a cake by Favored Cakes and Caterers issued to Simon, who will receive it this week. I hope he's back in town. So Favored Cakes and Caterers, thank you very much for your support. We also have a giveaway from our main sponsors, Balcon Housing and Stallion Construction Company. Hillary, you'll receive your gift hamper this week. So from Balcon Housing and Stallion Construction Company, again, one of you will get a chance to get their car fixed with an alarm system by GeoTress. And we will also get a chance to get your tracking done on your car. So anyone here who thinks they qualify, will let you know how you can get to walk away with these giveaways. We also have JC Beauty, who will give a gift hamper to one of you. They deal in beauty products and hair products. We also have Sorel Laundry, who will actually wash a duvet for you if you stay in Ruaka or Kiambu Road. So you will stand a chance to get that and as you keep tuning into our series. And then we have Intercity Secure Home for your total security solutions, as well as Current Technologies. These are engineers who are in the oil and gas industry. Thank you very much for your partnership. We also have the Career Management Center. You all know Jane. Jane Mutisia has been a guest here twice. She has a giveaway for you. So thank you very much, our audience, for tuning in, and thank you very much, our partners, for making this happen. If this is your first time here, kindly you can check out all the other episodes on our YouTube channel. Get it right with Atara Solutions. And if you have, keep coming. If you are our audience, you know how we do it. Keep coming. We are here every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Next week, by the way, this month, we are, oh my God, it is just awesome, awesome, awesome. We have an entrepreneur who is coming to speak to us. We have somebody who is coming to speak to us about investment. We also have somebody who is speaking to us about our mindset. Does your mindset determine how you do business? Does your mindset determine how you excel in your career? So thank you very much for always tuning in. And if you're for the first time, make it a habit. We are here 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Please follow us on Instagram at Atara Solutions, like our Facebook page at Atara Solutions, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Get It Right with Atara Solutions, and kindly leave us a comment. If you want to give us feedback, please email me at grace@atarasolutions.co.ke, and we will see how we can sort you out, or we can engage or partner, or just answer your questions. I am always here, your host. It's always a pleasure. My name is Grace Nzula, a HR practitioner and a trainer, and we shall see you next week, same time, same place. Have yourself a lovely, lovely night.